Well, hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is the Two Old Farts. My name is Chuck,
Now I'm Lou. I'm the better looking of two old farts.
but I'm the happier of the two old farts after that game yesterday.
Yeah, with all that sipping, you ought to be happy.
Yeah, I think the key to victory with Alabama is bourbon. Lots and lots of bourbon. I started before the game started.
Yeah, during the game, I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm sipping." And every time,
Yep,
every
I'm
time they did something good, I say, "You still sipping?" Yep.
still sipping. Because you know what? Whichever way the game went by that point, it didn't matter. If we were winning, yeah, cheers. If we were losing, that heck with it.
But that was a good game.
It was, and LSU played a very good game.
Well, they're going to come to the table to play their best game, and everybody gets up for us, and thank goodness, I think we got up for them.
But last night's game also reiterated how important it is to be playing at home because it
Yes.
made a difference for LSU last year and it made a difference for us this year.
Absolutely, that home crowd really gets into it. It's good to see Saban thanking the crowd, and giving them credit for what they did because they caused a couple of penalties, and
Later in the game, they sure
yeah,
did. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a good game. I
I was
enjoyed.
pleased with the outcome.
Yes, we just got to maintain that. If we can maintain that stability and play the rest of the year, because Auburn's going to get up for us, and
They
Kentucky.
are.
You can't. Kentucky's not doing too bad this year, and
Yeah, who did Kentucky beat yesterday?
I didn't bother to look.
Who did they
I thought
play?
they had a bye. I'm not sure.
No, Kentucky beat the hell out of, was it Vandy?
Yeah,
I don't know who, but
I'll tell
they
you just
they
like who
beat the
they
heck
played.
out of them.
Kentucky played Mississippi State. Yeah, they
That's
beat
it.
them big
They
time
beat the
yesterday.
dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
they beat them pretty bad. Hey, guess who did pretty good yesterday in the swamp?
yep. So
Arkansas. Good old bacon bits.
and UTSA did good,
Yes, sir, they did. Texas
and
State won as well.
Texas State won as well. And I got give a shout out to Troy. Troy won Thursday night. That's coming off of a short week. They won Thursday night, so they look pretty good. So some good football.
It was some good football this weekend.
I was rooting for USC to beat Washington last night, but
I was
Washington,
too. We need that domino to tumble.
yeah, they pulled it out towards the end there and played because they play some good football. So it's I like to see the parity. Uh, you
But you
know,
know what? We need some luck if we're going to make the college football playoff because we're on the outside looking in. We're not at 5 or 6 outside looking in. We're at like 7, 8 looking in.
right. And then Texas pulled theirs out.
We needed that domino to tumble. We need Michigan or Ohio State to lose to each other. So what really needs to happen is Michigan needs to lose to Penn State next week.
Yeah,
Ohio State needs to lose again to Michigan. That gets them at least one loss. I don't think Georgia's going to lose. I see us. The only way we're going to win is we got to win all of it. We got to
we got to.
win the SEC, not just the West. We got to win the SEC. Georgia being a one-loss team, losing to an ascending Alabama can keep them in the discussion. But I think if Michigan is one loss, I think they're done because they haven't played anybody. Georgia will stay in because their schedule's gotten tougher this last half, and then losing to us will save them. Michigan, no. Ohio State could still get in there, but what we need is Washington to lose. We need Oregon to lose. And that is Oregon a one-loss team?
Yeah, Oregon's a one-loss team.
So if Oregon loses again, they're done. They're 2 lost. They won't get in.
I think we'll jump ahead of Texas this week in the polls, simply because Kansas State
Well, because
has a good
Kansas State took them to overtime.
when it took it, and they just barely. So I think in the coaches poll and in the AP poll, we'll probably say about the same. We might move up one. I don't think so, but I think in the football rankings, I think we'll move up ahead of Texas.
I don't think so.
I think it'll be close simply because of schedule, the strength of schedule, and the way we beat LSU last night. That was a pretty convincing win, especially in that second half. And I think those people take those things in consideration. They're intangibles, but we'll find out Tuesday, right?
All I got to say is LSU Alabama, that is a heavyweight fight every dang year.
Yep.
It's always played at night, and it's always you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's almost getting to be like Tennessee and Auburn.
Yeah, but in Tennessee hasn't been that great for a long time. But the last couple of years, it's that rivalry is back to where it should have been all along.
Right. Coaching, when you get the right staff in there, it makes a difference. Because those you can have the best coach, but if the kids don't buy into what you're saying, because in some respects they're still kids, some are 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and some of them are pretty mature at that age, and some of them aren't. And I like what Coach said about Jalen Milroe last night. He finally bought into playing the next down. You got to forget the past. You got to forget that one that was good, bad, ugly, whatever it was. You got to forget it. You got to play the next down, because the next down could be what turns the ball game around. So
I got to admit that was the most complete game that I've seen him play all season. He looked comfortable. I think they had him prepared. I think he's coming into his own with the system. I think Tommy Rees has been holding back on him running the ball because clearly LSU wasn't prepared for it because nobody has seen him do what he did last night.
Right.
He took what the defense gave him. He didn't force it like he did in previous games.
Right. He really had a good vision of the field, and he, when he did run, like I was listening to Saban on his interview last night, he only had just a couple design quarterback runs. The rest of them were all because of passing and what they gave, and him being able to see the field and took what they gave him. And I think the other thing too, we played LSU's ball game last night. They knew Jaden was going to run and do all those kind of things, and we paired that up with them. And I don't think they were quite as prepared for it as we were, but like Coach said, we learned from a lot from it last night too, from them as well, from that game. So I think that's going to prepare us for the rest of the season. So we'll see.
The only weak point in his game, and we've seen it all season, is he's got the arm strength. He just doesn't have that touch.
Yeah.
And I think it's mostly because we don't have elite wide receivers that have that speed to keep up with his arm.
Right.
Or elite in the sense for them to break off their route and meet him halfway like we used to have on those receivers. Because I think he can make that next step. I saw flashes of Jalen Hurts in him. I saw a lot of Tua Tagovailoa in him. I saw the movement and keeping his eyes and vision downfield and still making throws last night like we saw with Bryce Young.
Yep.
I saw him step into the pocket and stay cool as a cucumber like Mac Jones.
Yep. I told you earlier, he reminds me so much of Jalen Hurts. The maturity, and as he started out, if you remember Jalen, he started out, he was one of those guys, you take a look, then he was going to run.
Yep, he'd look one time and then go.
Then as he progressed, he started to learn, and it's just like Coach said, you got to learn how to play the next play.
But the difference between those two Jalens was Jalen Hurts was a true freshman.
Yes.
Big difference between sophomore Jalen
It's a red shirt.
Milroe and true freshman Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's a red shirt too, I believe, right? This is just
Right.
like his third year.
But Milroe is bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yes. Yeah,
You saw that speed last night, man. He's got some wheels.
Yeah, he turned that corner pretty good.
Do you see him knock, what was it, a cornerback or a linebacker on his ass when he took that and ran up on he went to the left on that sideline and knocked him on his butt.
And he had to go out for a couple plays. And I feel
the LSU guy did.
Yeah, I feel bad for Jaden. I hope he's okay. He was out. I'm glad
I do too.
I'm glad they made the decision to take him out and not leave him in. Yeah. We got to protect him.
The only thing I don't like about the hit that Dallas Turner put on him, and it was a clean hit, and that's why he wasn't ejected because it wasn't targeting. He didn't lower his helmet. He leaned forward a bit, but he didn't go with the crown. Is he stayed wrapped up in him too long? Had he just hit him and then let go, because technically by the rule he drove him into the ground.
Right.
Because he didn't let go.
I thought it was pretty clean. And it was one of those timing. It was just really, I mean, it wasn't like he had 2 or 3 steps to decide he's going to hit him or not hit him. I mean, it was just right on top of him when he hit. So it I mean, of course, I can't stand the LSU coach, but he's crying and moaning about the hit and stuff like that. Well, yeah, it could have cost you the game, but I don't think so.
But you know what? That's what the coaches have to do. They have to sell it because it's not for that particular play. It's for the next play to get the refs looking.
Yeah. So,
and I was thankful that there wasn't a lot of the ticky-tack calls on pass interference because, you know, I was happy that they kind of let them play a little bit.
Yeah, I thought the officials did a really good job of letting them play and not taking anything away from the game, or they pretty much let them play because there's a couple of plays on both sides that could have gone either way and those things. And I'm gonna tell those two receivers at LSU, they're good.
They really, really are. Neighbors,
yeah, he is really good. Yeah, so they're going to do well in NFL, I believe, depending on what teams they go to. You know, a lot of that you can go to the NFL, but if you don't go into a position or a place where you have an opportunity to showcase what you can do, it takes you a while. So it was good.
So are you getting ready for our upcoming trip?
I'm ready. I say what time we're going to leave? We got to be there between 10:30 and 11:30 to pick up those pies. So,
you're a week early. I'm talking about our trip to Alabama, Dad.
I'm ready. I'm ready for both. Yeah, I'll meet you at the airport there.
Yeah, with the plane, I think it's at 8:55. I plan on getting there maybe around 7.
Yeah,
because usually you back it off about 30 minutes for to load.
Yeah. You know, I did that TSA deal. Are they supposed to send me a card or? Because I haven't got anything. Okay.
No, there's no card.
Okay. So they'll just have my
back of. Yeah, it should be your trusted ID number, your trusted traveler number. That's all you need to get that put onto your ticket. Did you get one of those yet? Have you gotten anything back from them that says you're done?
No, I'm going to go back. I got a letter that has been processed. They said, an email, 7 to 14 days or something like that. So I need to go back.
When did you get that?
About a week or so ago. It's been about a week after I went down and filed. So I got to follow up on it.
It's been a week since you filed it? When you did this last month, right?
Yeah. What was it like the first week in October or something like it? We were talking about it. I went down.
Yeah.
So, but because everything was good, so I'll go and check it and write it down. That's gonna be a fun weekend.
It will be.
We're gonna get to Dreamland, and
Yeah.
and yesterday on game day, did you see where the food came from?
I did not. I missed that part.
Baumhauer's.
Bomb
Bob
what?
Baumhauer's restaurants there in Tuscaloosa. Bob Baumhauer.
You've heard of them?
Oh yeah, who hasn't? We went there when we went to Auburn that time. I mean, Bob
Oh, Victory Grill.
Yeah, Victor Grill, Bob Baumhauer's, yeah, Baumhauer, whatever.
Yeah, Baumhauer.
Yeah,
Yeah, we ate there with Marcia
and Christy and yeah.
Yeah, but I thought we were going to go to what do you call it? Dreamland.
Yeah, we're going to Dreamland.
We've been to Baumhauer.
Yeah, we're going to Dreamland. Going to the original, first one.
Yes.
I had a dental appointment this week to finish up this root canal. And the technician that was helping the doctor, she's from Columbus, Georgia. So we had some good conversation. So I was telling her about Dreamland Barbecue. And she said something. I said, "Oh, that banana pudding is so good." She started laughing. She said, "You are Southern." And we got to talk about her sister's coming out from Columbus for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. It made me laugh. I said, "Well, she helped you cook?" She said, "No." She watches and tells me, "You're not doing that right. You're doing this wrong." But she don't help. So it was a good conversation with her. We're talking about Granny doing turnip greens, and she'd always put the roots of the turnip greens in when she canned them and stuff like that, and put a little fat back in them, and a little bacon, That's good conversation. Good, give them a shout out to the Data Point Dental Clinic. And really good people there. But Dreamland, I'm waiting. That's almost as big a deal as going to watching a football game to me. So anyway, so I got a trivia question for you.
I'm not too good on those.
Yeah. When did daylight savings time start and why?
I don't know when it started, but it started because of either farmers or the trains.
Nope. It started March 31st, 1918, as a means to conserve electricity during wartime, not as commonly believed to allow farmers to work longer in the fields, according to the Library of Congress. Actually, farmers have been opposed to it all along.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep, they've been one of the strongest lobbying groups. I did a lot of research, a lot of work on daylight savings time. It's pretty interesting about how it came about and how many people are against it and all the different rules and all the different things that people say that cause it. That supposedly there's less accidents or there's more accidents and daylight savings time changes and stuff like that. That's bad on the health. It's good on the health. It's just real controversial conversation when you start talking about daylight savings time.
Yeah, that is.
And I say that because this morning when I got up, I said, "Well, I hadn't been in bed very long." So I looked at the clock. I didn't get up till like 8:30. Then your mom reminded me, "Well, it's really 9:30."
So your clocks didn't automatically adjust?
Oh yeah, it adjusted. I looked at the clock and I just wasn't thinking about it when I got up. Then daylight saving, just another day.
Just another day.
Yeah, and I think that's just the way people look at it. I think most people will just willing to get rid of it. I mean, what purpose does it serve? I mean, one day you sleep later, one day you don't. Biggest thing is when you get up, you still feel the same. I didn't feel any different this morning than I did yesterday morning.
I agree, and don't know why we still have daylight savings time. I don't know what purpose it serves. If anything, it makes it worse in the wintertime because it just gets darker sooner because we've shifted that an hour back. And I'm okay with the sun coming up at 7:30, 7:45, as long as it doesn't go down at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it does.
So,
it doesn't make a lot of difference. I think to most people, I believe there's some legislation on the way trying to change it to get rid of it. To be honest with you,
everybody talks about doing something about it, but nobody does anything about it. It's like Congress.
yeah.
Everybody talks about doing something, but nobody does anything.
The articles that I was reading this morning is for every argument for, there's an argument against. There's almost like 6 of one, half dozen the other.
But you know what? I haven't seen any articles or discussion about why we should keep it.
No, there's not. Like I said, when I was reading it earlier, the biggest reason because of World War II, World War I, saved the time for energy. And then there's a couple of surveys that says we saved like, I forgot, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 on our energy by cutting it out. So,
no, by keeping daylight savings time, you're saying it minimizes the amount of energy we consume.
Right. If you cut it out, you would actually save a little bit on your energy bill.
No, if you keep it.
No, if we went back.
That's a benefit.
Right. It would be a benefit by deleting the daylight savings time.
No, you're saying the opposite. They're saying a benefit to keeping daylight savings time is it minimizes your energy consumption.
Right. So anyway, we'll be talking about this next year. Well, you and I won't. But
yeah, when it's spring forward again.
Yeah. So good conversation piece, right?
Is it really? Most people I know that could give two shits less about daylight savings time.
Yeah. Do you know that fireworks original was just 2 colors?
Red and green?
No. Orange and see if I can find my notes here. Could have been orange and green. Fireworks actually started over 2,000 years ago in China with bamboo.
I can believe that.
Yep.
Because bamboo is naturally hollow, so you can pack it with gunpowder.
Exactly. Well, back then it wasn't so much the gunpowder as when they heated it up with the fire, it caused the bamboo to make loud cracking sounds, and that's kind of how it got started. And I mention that because Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, sparklers are the worst thing.
Because they don't go out; they just keep burning.
Well, a sparkler burns at a temperature over 15 times the boiling point of water. Now,
That's pretty hot.
3 sparklers burning together generate the same heat as a blowtorch. I did not know that. I know that you think because you can hold them on the end and stuff like that, they're safer, but they alone
you can hold a blowtorch in your hand.
Yeah. Sparklers cause more injuries than any other type of fireworks. Interesting.
Good to know. It is interesting.
Yep. So
when did you get that letter in the mail about your TSA pre-check number? Was it about a week ago?
No, it's been a couple of weeks.
So it should be getting done any time now, right?
It should be.
Traveler number?
Yeah, I'll go back and after we get off, I'll go back and check it and see what I find out.
Did they say they were going to mail you what your known traveler number is? What'd they say?
I don't remember. I had to go back and check that email.
And did you get your new driver's license yet? The plastic one?
Yep, I got my
No?
new job,
Okay, good.
and I got a new Social Security card. I couldn't find mine. When I went down to get my driver's license, they asked for a Social Security card. I forgot to take it. Then I went to look for it. I couldn't find it, but because I had my military ID and it had my Social Security number on it and the letter from the VA with benefits, so she said, that's good enough. Yeah. So
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm ready to go. If I don't get it, it's not a whole lot of difference checking in through TSA or going to regular lines because.
No, you still got to go through TSA. It's just the pre-check. You don't have to take anything out of your carry-on, and you don't have to take your shoes off.
Right.
Generally.
Well, it'd be like last time we went, they made take my shoes off because my socks were wrinkled, and they thought it maybe hiding something in my socks. Remember when we were leaving to come back?
Well, yeah, they know things that we don't, and that's why they do what they do.
Yep. That program's been around a long time.
TSA?
Yep.
Or just those screeners?
Well, all of it really started back in the early 70s. When you were about
back
2
when you
years
were on
old.
the Sky Marshal program?
Yep.
The precursor to the Federal Air Marshals, right?
Exactly.
So what can you tell us about that? We got a couple of minutes to kill.
Oh, it was a fun trip. We had a little snub-nosed 38s. We had a little belly band to hold our weapons in. Of course, we always met with the crew before, so they know who we are and those kind of things. And
when was this, Dad? When are we talking?
1970. Let's see,
70 or 71?
70, 71. We're running that time frame.
Where were we living?
We were in Montgomery.
Where were we living?
At Maxwell. We went to Kew Gardens in New York City. That's when we're at the.
So no, we weren't at Maxwell. We moved to New York City.
Yeah,
to be in the Sky Marshal program.
Yeah, we were there for 6 months in New York City. 6 months. In Kew Gardens.
What'd you do?
Flew on Trans-Caribbean Airlines.
What?
Trans-Caribbean Airlines. They're no longer
Trans-Caribbean Airlines.
Yep, they're no longer in existence. I forgot who bought them out now, but we used to fly into San Juan, Curacao, Aruba, and those islands in there. Aruba. Now that was a fun because if I remember, it said the Aruba Curacao. I can't remember which one. Now had a real short landing strip.
Oh, I bet.
And it was right on the ocean. So when you took off, if you didn't do it just right, guess where you were going?
In the water.
Right. But it was fun. When we'd go into San Juan, we'd stay overnight in San Juan and hang out with the crew and stuff like that. Come back next day. We flew into Port-au-Prince. When we flew into there, we had to stay on the airplane. They wouldn't let us off because we're military, and the laws didn't allow us. And of course, the dictators they had there and all those kind of things.
What country was this? What country?
Hell, I forgot now what. I'll think of it just a second, but Port-au-Prince. Haiti, yes. But on that one, and that was just a touch and go. We'd land, people depart, and then we'd turn around and leave. But we couldn't get off. We had about an hour layover. Sometimes the crew would get off and go in and stretch their legs and do whatever, and then get back home. But they wouldn't allow us to do that. But it was fun. We had a good time. And
So we lived in Kew Gardens in Queens, in New York.
Yep, for 6 months, and you were so popular with the lady who managed that apartment complex. She gave us a free parking garage. Well, she saved one for us because she really liked you. I think you were 4 years old, something like that. Yeah.
Yep, I was 4 years old, I think.
That was my first taste of knowing that people don't like Alabama. One morning, before we got the parking garage, you had to park on one side of the street in the morning and the other side of the street in the afternoon. One morning, I went outside. Guess what was laying on the hood of my car?
What?
Crumpled up Alabama tags. Somebody had taken them off and crumpled them up and laid it on the hood of my car. So, a short time later is when we got the parking garage and stuff like that. So
how did you fix the tags?
Just straighten it out. Just get a hammer or something. Just straighten it out. It wasn't like crumble. It was just like folded up and kind of
like bent up.
Yeah, just a little bit, and then put it back on. And our first experience going down to find the apartment in that area, of course, had no idea where the hell we were going. So, maps and stuff like that, you're trying to read and stuff like that. And somebody pulls up beside, rolls down the window and says, "If you can't drive that damn thing, go back to Alabama." I said, "Oh, this is going to be fun."
Good times.
But it was a good time. We got a chance to go meet your great granny in New Jersey once or twice, and Hopewell, New Jersey. So, but it was a good thing. We had a lot of fun. Had good money until I got back. Then they said they overpaid us like $3,000. The government, they're going to take it back. Fortunately, they didn't take it all at one time. They did it like 2 or 3 payments type thing. But sure makes it hard.
Yeah, it does.
Especially back then. All right.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, I want to tell everybody, thank you for tuning in. Sorry we didn't do anything the last couple of weeks. Time just kind of got away from us. I don't really remember why we didn't do anything. Hey, what are you doing on Thursday, old man? You want to go to Worst Fest on Thursday?
Let me check it out and see. I gotta see how I feel. I had some dental work done too. A deep cleaning.
All right, good.
Thursday, see how that goes. I was watching it yesterday on TV, and some of the friends of mine on Facebook posted some stuff. It really looks like a fun time. It kind of reminded me of when we went a few years ago. It looks like they got it back up and renovated, and the buildings that burned down and those kind of things. I think it'd probably be fun. So let me let you know.
All right, because Friday it's Veterans Day, and I got a concert that night, and then Sunday I got a concert, and then Monday morning I got a medical appointment. Then the next Thursday, next Sunday the 12th, it's over.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's wrap it up, old man, so we don't get too long in the tooth, and then nobody want to listen to us.
Well, did you get a chance to look at how many downloads we had or anything like that?
I did. We're really close. Let me see. One real quick. Come on, man. I think we're about 20 away.
Okay.
Let me see. Come on. We are at 2,980. We need 20 more downloads.
Maybe we'll get that today.
We haven't quite hit 20. Episode 17 did 20 downloads in its first month. Episode 21 did 19. Oh, and wait a minute. That was the teaser clip. The actual 21 episode did 18 downloads. Episode 20 did 19 downloads in its first month.
Well, hopefully those couple of ladies I talked to at the dental clinic, they said they were going to listen to our podcast and let me know what they think about it.
I hope so. We've only had one this month. No, 4 this month. We've had 4 downloads since the beginning of the month. Last month we did pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Last month we had 95 downloads for the month. 80 from the U.S., 5 from Switzerland, 3 from Canada, 3 from Sweden, 2 from Zimbabwe, 1 from the UK, and 1 from Vietnam.
Oh, wow. So
yeah,
what time's
all over the world, man.
What time's your concert next Sunday?
Probably like 7:30 or 8.
Yeah, we'll have to do an early podcast on it. I'll look up some fun facts and things like that. Some history questions.
Sounds good.
All right. Give Brenda and Mackenzie a big hug. But it was good to see her at the football game the other night. I really liked that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right. You have a good one.
You too, Dad.
Love you.
Love you too. Y'all take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.
All have a good week and be safe out there.
Thanks, you too. Hey, good luck with your dental appointment.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.